Welcome to this observation lesson focusing on locations in the Bible. As we learned in the methodical study overview, observation is the necessary first step in effectively studying the Bible. There are various kinds of observations, such as the observation of who, what, where, when, and why. This lesson focuses on the observation of where. We will show you how taking a closer look at where events took place adds continuity, meaning, and additional depth to your study of Scripture. Looking at where does not only look at geographic locations, however, it also looks at topography, climate, distances, and even geopolitics, to name a few. Some locations in the Bible are symbolic, others are closely tied to historical events, while others yet have cultural implications. So, how does observation of a place enhance your study of Scripture? Let's take a look at one example. In Matthew 11:22, Jesus says, "I tell you, Tyre and Sidon will be better off on Judgment Day than you." Jesus said this when he was warning the unrepentant cities of Bethsaida, Chorazin, and Capernaum about Judgment Day. As a Bible student, you could just gloss over these verses without knowing much about Tyre and Sidon and not really grasp the gravity of the warning. Or you can take the time to do a little research on these locations to enhance your study of Scripture. For this lesson, let's set our focus on Tyre. Wouldn't it be interesting to know what was so significant about Tyre? A scripture search of the word Tyre shows that it is mentioned in the Bible 59 times and is found in both the Old Testament and the New Testament. The fortified city of Tyre is first mentioned in Joshua 19:29 as one of the Mediterranean cities given to the tribe of Asher. Tyre consisted of two parts, an inland rocky fortress called Old Tyre and the city of Tyre, which was an island about half a mile from shore. Tyre being described as a fortified city meant it already had an exceedingly strong position even at that time. Tyrians are described as very adventurous seafarers, which led to their naval dominance. Their merchants were the first to navigate the Mediterranean waters, and they founded colonies in Greece, East Africa, Spain, and Carthage, and they even ventured into the Atlantic, reaching the coasts of Britain and West Africa. Tyre was so fortified that it was the most difficult conquest for Alexander the Great, taking him 7 months to conquer. His conquest of Tyre is what made Alexander's name a legend. Further observation of Tyre in Old Testament scriptures shows that King Hiram of Tyre was a devoted friend of King David, and the friendly relations continued on into Solomon's reign. King Hiram of Tyre provided cedar logs, bronze, and purple dye which could only be found in Tyre shells at the time. It took thousands of these Tyrian shells to produce purple dye, which made the dye extremely expensive and why purple garments could only be afforded by royalty in those days. In addition to providing materials, King Hiram also sent skilled Tyrian craftsmen, stonemasons, and carpenters in the building of David's palace, Solomon's palace, and also in the building of the Lord's temple. So why did they end up being judged by God? Well, after the reign of King Solomon and King Hiram, Tyre broke their treaty of brotherhood with Israel. They rejoiced when Israel fell into trouble and even sold Jews as slaves to the Greeks. Here's another interesting fact. Did you know that evil Queen Jezebel, who married King Ahab, was the daughter of Ethbaal, the priest king of Tyre and Sidon? She brought her idol-worshipping priests to Israel, set up altars to Baal, and also executed prophets of the Lord. Further research shows that several prophecies against Tyre came true, such as nations coming against it and its destruction. When Alexander finally subdued the island of Tyre, thousands died and thousands more were sold into slavery. Tyre never regained its former stature. All these Old Testament observations on Tyre show the depth of their downfall from extreme strength and prosperity to extreme devastation. Understanding Tyre's destruction gives us a much more vivid picture of the gravity of Jesus' warning to Bethsaida, Chorazin, and Capernaum, whose judgment would be greater. All these observations give a diligent student of the Bible additional confidence that the Old Testament scriptures are true historical events, not myths, that God's prophecies come true, and that contrary to some recent beliefs, the Old Testament is not irrelevant in the study of Scripture. As we mentioned earlier, Tyre is also found in the New Testament scriptures. In the Gospel of Mark, we see the news about Jesus' miracles going as far north as Tyre and Sidon. Jesus even travels to Tyre, and while he was there, a Phoenician woman who heard about his miracles fell at his feet and begged for her child to be delivered from an evil spirit. Jesus saw the faith of this Gentile mother and healed her daughter. In Acts 21, we see Paul stopping at Tyre during his journey and staying a week with the local believers who even prophesied over him. These New Testament observations on Tyre show that there is redemption for those who believe in Jesus, regardless of the history of where they came from. How much richer was the study of Scripture because we took the time to perform observation of a location. There are Bible study resources, such as a Bible Atlas, which can help you gain additional information about places in Scripture. Check out our other observation lessons or the lessons on how to use Bible study tools to find out more.